Duwamish, Squamish, and many others live all around this region. In fact, Chief Seattle is thought to have been born on this very island. Coast Salish culture is very different from traditional Western culture. The newcomers who arrived here were puzzled by the language, customs, and faith of the native people. This led to many misunderstandings. Today, many of us are still no more knowledgeable about the roots of Coast Salish culture. Our goal today is to help change that.
Tillicum, welcome my friends. I'm glad to see you here today. So, you want to learn about my people, the Coast Salish. I'm glad for that. Misunderstanding is common, even now. But it defined our interaction with the newcomers, the ones you call the settlers. From our clothes, to our food, to our language that most foreigners found too difficult to learn. It's called a Shutsit, which means saltwater language. The newcomers could not even pronounce the name of the man who greeted them, so they called him Seattle. We and the newcomers viewed the world very differently. Perhaps it's because they did not know how the world came to be. A long time ago, there were no humans in the world, only spirit people. These spirit people could change form into anything they wished. Then Moon the Transformer appeared and brought order to the world, turning these spirits into humans. Animals, trees, fish, the world we live in today. I am a shaman, a spirit man, or medicine man. But of course, I'm just a person. I'm a father. I fish. I'm good at slahal, our bone game. But just as a fisherman or a basket weaver has a special skill, my special skill is an understanding of this other side of our world. The spirits of our ancestors fill the land in which we live. They inhabit the soil, the water. They surround us, envelop us, help us, teach us. They give us the rain that supports life, the wind that brings snow. To keep us warm, they give us fire. They aren't just a part of our world, they are our world. Okay, I can't really do that, but they can. Perhaps the best way to show you our world is the way we've done for thousands of years. Dances aren't just done for show, they teach us. They honor the spirits. They help us harness the power of the spirits and connect us with our ancestors. Nearly all tribes tell stories of mysterious, powerful creatures that can do terrible things. Thunderbird is both feared and respected for his power to bring fierce thunder and lightning. Raven, who was always deceiving us, also brought light to our world. And then there are stories of fearsome creatures who stalk the woods.
It's known by different names: Sasquatch, Slapu, Zunagwa. Dances telling of this monster have been given for generations. They tell of its power and honor it in the hope it will be pacified. And, just as important, it taught children to be careful of the forest. The creature had the fur and claws of a fearsome animal, but it walked on two legs. It could grow in size. It was very fast on land and in the water. The beast is seen tearing through the forest in search of prey, for it is always hungry. The beast is clever, always watching, always sniffing the air for danger. Suddenly, the beast hears hunters searching.
Dances connect us with the spirit world. Some of the dances are powerful, like the one you just saw. Other dances are beautiful. Water has always held a special significance to the Coast Salish people. We live among it. It flows as rivers and streams. It carries the salmon, nurtures the cedar, and is home to many forms of life. And so we revere the water and celebrate its many gifts. The spinning water dance is performed here by special permission of the Iwar family of the Suquamish tribe. It's a powerful expression of our spiritual bond with this element. The song carries our respect like leaves in a flowing current. The dancers honor different types of water, rain, river, and salt water. As you watch this dance, try to picture the water itself spinning, flowing, and being a part of your life.
In wintertime, the tribes call upon and honor many different spirits as part of ceremony and rites of passage. Just as we honor our elders among us, we take special care to honor the ever-present spirits of our ancestors. One beautiful example of this comes from the island of Vancouver to the north. The ancestral masked dance is performed here by special permission of the David family of the Nucharnoth people. In it, a masterfully carved mask is used. One side represents the ancestors of the past. The other, the elders of the present. Two worlds forever joined as one. romances are a source of strength for our cause. They not only help us keep our traditions alive, they remind us of our connection to the spirits and our ancestors who dwell among us. In traditional cultures, stories teach us how to be good people and how to live in harmony with the world around us. But just as with a fisherman or shaman, not just anyone can be a storyteller.
Let me tell you a story. The stories around here are meant to teach, as they are all around the world. Stories are told to teach. In this story, you will learn something. A long time ago, the world was very different than it is today. Can all of you show me, where is the sky? Very good, very good. Now who can tell me, how high is the sky? In case you're ever asked again, the sky is very high. The sky is very high. But in this story that people tell, the sky was not way up there. It was dark, and it was heavy, and it was way down here. Here was where the sky was, right here. And because of that, the people had to walk around bent over like this all the time. Because if they stood up, they would bump their heads in the sky. Now, it's not fun walking like this. You keep bumping your head, and your back starts to hurt, and you can't see where you're going. You can only see your feet beneath you. And after a while, the people began to argue. And then the people began to fight. They were arguing and fighting all the time. Well, there was a little girl sitting in her house there, and she saw this, and she said, this is not right, but because the sky is so dark and heavy upon us, all we do now is argue and fight. There must be something I can do. And so she thought. And she thought. And she thought some more, and she had an idea. She walked out of her house to the middle of the village, she put her hands in the sky, and she pushed up as hard as she could. And guess what? She felt the sky move a tiny bit. She said, if I call the other people out of their houses and we push together, maybe we can push it up a little bit more. And so she called them out and explained her plan. But they were grumpy. Oh, that's a crazy idea. That'll never work. She said, oh, please, try just once. And they all said, all right. So they all put their hands in the sky and they pushed up as hard as they could. And guess what? They felt the sky move a little bit more. Now, this little girl was very smart. She said, I know, if we invite all the native people around here to come to our village, the Duwamish from Seattle, Suquamish from Bainbridge Island, Snohomish from Everett, if we invite them all to come to our village and we all push it on the sky together, maybe we can push it up, push it out of our way, push it to where it belongs. And the people said, now, little girl, that's a very good idea. And so all the other tribes were called to the village, and they all gathered, and the plan was explained to them. And they all agreed it was a good plan. But someone said, there's a problem here. We all speak different languages, so we all have a different word for push. How will we know when to push together? The people talked and argued and talked, and they couldn't think of anything. If you have a problem like this that no one person can solve, what you need to do is go to an elder. Because old people are not just smart, they're also wise. They've lived a long time and know how to solve big problems. So they went to the oldest man in the village and they explained the problem to him. And he said, let me think about it for 2 days, come back and I'll tell you. In 2 days they returned and he said, you shall use the word Yahau. Yahau will mean work together, push together. When I say Yahau, we all say Yahau and push up on that heavy sky. And so I want everyone here to stand up. Everyone stand up. I want you to bend at your knees and put your hands right here. This is where the sky is. We're going to push up the sky together. And when I call out Yahau, I want you all to yell Yahau and push up on that heavy sky. So here we go. Yahau. 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 Is that high enough? No, it's not. Let's get some big long poles and keep pushing up with these poles. So here we go, the same word. Yahau. 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 We did it. We pushed this is today. We did a very good thing. That story is called Pushing Up the Sky, told by the Snoqualmie people. Thank you. Thank you. A story cannot stand alone by itself. It needs another story to hold it up. So I'm going to continue this story because the story goes on. As the sky was pushed up, as we did this good thing, things were stuck in the sky. As it was being lifted, 3 hunters and their dog were chasing an elk, and they got stuck in the sky, and they turned into stars. Stars we call the Big Dipper today. And something else got stuck in the sky. The songs of the birds were stuck in the sky, and the birds could not sing anymore. And the birds were very upset. They got together, and they were angry. They said, those crazy people, they pushed the sky without telling us, and now our songs are stuck up there. What are we going to do? They talked and argued and talked and thought some more, but they couldn't think of anything until finally one bird, you know who it is, always talking about himself, always bragging about himself, Crow. Crow came up and said, hey, I can just fly up there and get our songs. And Crow put out his black wings and he started to fly. He got halfway to the sky, and then he got tired and came back down and said, it's too high, we can't do it. Hawk came up and said, I'm bigger and stronger than Crow, and I can do it. And Hawk put out his wings and he started to fly. Went past where Crow went, got 3/4 of the way there. And then Hawk got tired and came back down and said, Crow is right, it's too high, we can't do it. Well, around here, who was bigger than Crow and who was bigger than Hawk? Eagle. Eagle came up and said, look at my wings. I was meant to fly that high. I can get up there no problem. And she put out her wings and she started to fly. Past where Crow went, past where Hawk went. She was almost to the sky world. And then she got tired and came back down and said, they're right, it's too high. Our songs are stuck up there forever. Because if the biggest and strongest can't do it, no one can. Well, out of the bushes, out of the grass came the littlest bird, little tiny wren. And little tiny wren came up and said, excuse me, I can get up there. And all the birds laughed, all the big birds were laughing, saying, no way, little bird, you can't do it. I mean, look at yourself, think about it. If us big, strong birds can't get up there, how can a dinky, puny little bird like you do anything? Little wren said, because I am so little, I can climb on Eagle's back and hold on. And if she can carry me as high as she can, when she starts to come down, I will fly the rest of the way myself and get the songs back. And the bird said, now little bird, that's a very good idea. So little wren climbed on Eagle's back and held on. And Eagle started flying again, past where Crow went, past where Hawk went, almost to the sky world started to come down. Little wren jumped off and flew the rest of the way and got the songs of the birds back. Now when little wren got back, he remembered something. What did the big birds do when little wren said, I can get it there? What did they do? They laughed at him. They made fun of him. They said, oh, you're little, you're tiny, you can't do anything. So when he got back, he said, Cousin Robin, here's a song. Cousin Sparrow, here's a song. Cousin Thrush, here's a song. And that is why all the little birds have beautiful little songs, don't they? But Crow and Hawk and Eagle, their song sounds like this. And their songs are not so pretty. And that is all called the birds flying to the sky. Thank you very much.
The art of our neighbors to the north also tells a story of their clan history, of ancestors, and of the spirit world in which they live as well. And nowhere does it shine more brightly than in their masks. The Haida, the Tlingit, the Kwakwakiwak, and others depended on the same forces to survive their hard winters. Beautiful masks of cedar, like the wolf and raven, created by master carvers, help them honor the spirits. In their ceremony of masks, they honor a time before people, the time of the spirits. Here we see the long-beaked servants of the feared Bakbakwanutsue, cannibal spirit of the north, the Hamatsa raven, crooked beak, the thundering sound is the noise of them crying out for food for their master.
Our shared beliefs haven't faded with time. When somebody tells you that the Indian and their culture have vanished, don't believe them. We are still here, and we are finding new ways to help everyone benefit from the wisdom of our ancestors. When you see all of existence is connected, it shapes your actions. Nearly every effort to save fish or wildlife, nearly every new conservation project is owed at least in part to the efforts of the tribes. In our traditions, we see one another not just as individuals. We all share in being part of the whole, just one part of the tribe, one small part of the world, but all equal. Chief Seattle said it best. Every part of this soil is sacred, even the rocks which seem to be dumb and dead as they swelter in the sun along the silent shore, thrill with memories of stirring events connected with the lives of my people. His message, every part of our world is alive. Our ancestors dwell here, even in the rocks.
None of us are truly alone in this world. We share this world not just with the spirits, but with each other. Whatever you believe, one thing is always true. Everything we do has an impact and a meaning. The Coast Salish people have not forgotten this. We still give thanks to the salmon. We still tell stories. We still dance. And we always remember the world is sacred.
Thank you for your attention. It's been our pleasure to serve you this afternoon. I'd like to introduce the dancers. To my immediate right here, we have the Hamasut Raven, danced by Simsian Frank Mather. Now, we come to the big powwow that's going on in Discovery Park. As we speak right now, we have two guest dancers. To my immediate left, all the way from the Philippines, we have Bijua Napat. And lastly, we have La Uku Sis, danced by Alex Vera. Nice job. By my watch, we have just a bit over 40 minutes of free time before the captain blows the whistle for reboarding. So here's a